Like I said, breaking free for me has been more about my journey of breaking free from the monsters in my head. And the first monster was my origin, where I come from. Like he said, I was raised in Belgaum. I was raised in a hardcore village because my father is a veterinarian. And when you're raised in a gaon, you don't have any filters, any barriers. You just say everything on the top of your head. Because the villagers are very plain Jane. They just speak what comes to their mind. And I wasn't even conditioned for civilized society. So I needed to break free from that format and really become prim and proper in order to face the world that I face right now. So that was the first point where I broke free. And soon after that, I ended up associating myself with my brother in his entrepreneurial dream, which was a restaurant, and I was assisting him there. And I got so embroiled in the whole thing that I wasn't even able to look at my own career, and I was so happy being the sacrificial lamb, the great sister who's sacrificing her life and career for her brother, when my mom literally shook me up and she said, no, you gotta go and pursue your dream. And that's when I left home and I went to Ahmedabad. So breaking free from the sacrificial lambhood helped me to get out there in the corporate world. And the minute you land there, you realize there are so many things you don't have. I was a postgraduate in marketing, and I wasn't an MBA, and I'm not those good-looking, hot-looking chicks who can kind of grow by virtue of smiling to their bosses. And I thought there were so many things that I didn't have. So the only way to compensate that was to work really hard, and I thought perfectionism was the way. So I chose to be the perfect boss, the perfect employee, the perfect team player, the perfect wife, the bahu, and all of those things. And that's when I realized that you need to break free from perfectionism and be willing to fail. Thank you. And when failure, I can think of one of those occasions. My first really exciting adventure in Goa was that on 16th of August 2015, I decided to have a flash mob at Miramar Beach in Goa. And you won't believe me, I didn't know a soul. I wasn't a part of BNI at that time. I didn't know anybody. And I just declared it in the newspapers, and as luck would have it, I knew it was going to fail. I just knew it. But my father, being a man of faith, said, go, consider it done, the Lord will take care. And you won't believe me, I literally held all my fears together in my heart, and holding on to all my fears, I broke free from my fear of failure, and I managed to have 200 people dancing to my tunes on Miramar Beach on the 15th of August 2015. It was such a moment for me. It gave me the courage to really go out there and achieve anything that my heart set, that I set my heart on. And the rest of these monsters I'm talking about are not really in order of importance, but all these came up to me at different points in time. I started an organization called Festivalists because I was not okay with the status quo. I knew that elderly people don't have services good enough for them. So I decided to start it. I'm a marketing professional. I knew that I'm not fit to start a service like this. I broke free. I went ahead and I did. I knew that, because I had come back from the corporate world and I was settling into the Goan lifestyle, I didn't even know what to do. Inertia. But I broke free from that, and I decided that you may not know what is the right thing to do, but do whatever comes your way, and I started with that. And then, at some point in time, you just have done a few things and settled a few things, and then you see that, oh, it's so boring, what do I do next? And then that lethargy sets in. And then, I have very good friends who ask me, what's next? What's next? And they keep pushing me on, and that's when I tend to break free from that lethargy and create the next big plan for Festivalists. We recently created a world record with the largest number of senior citizens performing a Goan folk dance in Goa on the 21st of August last year. Yes, thank you. Amongst all those things that we have, one of the things that I constantly confront is negativity. I don't think I'm good enough. I need to have a better CEO for my company. I need to have a better CA. I need to have, am I good enough? Am I really doing the right thing? And I then remind myself that if not you, then who? And then when I answer that question that there's just you, there's just one you, and you gotta do it, I keep on shattering that negativity and keep on letting that self-doubt go away and love myself and start all over again. And I keep going through those entire cycles of being complacent and saying it's okay, itna hi ho sakta hai, this is Goa, people are slow. And then say, no, but you are not, you need to move, you need to you need to just break free from that rut and go out there and do it. So every time I keep reminding myself that this is not it, you need to keep moving on, you need to keep going to the next level. One of the most important thing is about foolish compassion that I keep facing all the time. I keep buying into people's BS and I keep taking responsibility for other people's nonsense. And I think one of the things that I've learned to break free is to call a spade and just go out there and address it and make people take responsibility for their own actions. And that has been a very liberating thing for me, that I don't need to look good and I can really tell them that something's not working. The other most important thing is to let go of my pride, of my self-righteousness. You know, there's so much of it, you have no idea. It's so difficult to admit that I made a mistake. And to break free from that was to go back, like for example, I have creditors to go and say, oh no, I messed up and I can't pay you on time. To really go out there and say that. That was a breaking free moment for me, when I could actually go and admit to my failures and say, I'm sorry, I have messed up and I'm willing to make amends and it will take me time. And every time again, to keep coming back to the blueprint and saying, where am I supposed to go and where am I right now, and making sure that I am able to break free from my comfort zone and keep on overcoming all those monsters in my head. So that's my journey. Thank you.